Mario vs. Luigi? Tom Nook vs. Isabelle? Huh? New Splatfest and Splatoon 3 confirmed. Oh.
Well, this explains quite a bit.
So it's been about 6 months since my Splatfest Iceberg video, and wow, I did not expect this video to pop up this much, so thank you guys so much. This is now my most viewed video, and it's a video I'm very proud of too. With that said, I feel as though I should make a follow-up to it, since there were some mistakes or stuff I didn't know about. So in this video, we'll revisit some existing topics that have some new information that came to light, as well as some brand new topics that I missed. Make sure if you haven't already watched the original Splatfest Iceberg video to do so, as I will be spoiling some topics in it. With that said, I hope you enjoy. Let's start with some mistakes I made. 100x battle odds. A few people seem to be misinformed, which is partially my fault, so let me clear something up. The raised 100x battle odds for Chaos vs. Order, the 1 in 250 estimated odds, were still in effect for all Splatfests after that one. So the Mayo vs. Ketchup, Chicken vs. Egg, and Trick vs. Treat rematch Splatfest, as well as the Mario themed Splatfest, all had the raised 100x battle odds. And in case you were wondering, no, I did not ever get that coveted 1 in 22,000 100x battle match. I did however get 3 100x battles prior to them raising the odds, but they were in Retro vs. Modern, Salsa vs. Guac, and Unicorn vs. Narwhal, which all only had North America playing. In Retro vs. Modern, it was at the start, so Europe did not start playing yet. Splatfests are region-based. Yes, I know, I used the wrong flag for Europe. This is what it was supposed to look like, but I used the UK flag instead. You see, I'm not very educated on world history, so I didn't even know that the UK wasn't a part of the EU anymore. Whoops. Top 100 cheaters. I guess this doesn't count as a mistake, but I feel I should take partial blame for this. The Reddit post that I mentioned about the offensive nickname sadly got deleted. I suppose I shouldn't have linked the Reddit post in the description, as it would have shedded light on it, and the original poster probably didn't want that on their account anymore. Apologies about that. What I should have done is just upload the screenshot of it and put the link there instead, which is exactly what I did. So if you're still curious about what it was, then it's in the description of both this video and the original video. Again, fair warning, it's an offensive name. Now that we have those out of the way, let's revisit some existing topics that have some new information thanks to you guys who commented about it. Splatfest dialogue and story mode. In Nocta expansion, there is a reference to the warm vs. cold breakfast Splatfest in Europe. In section 1 of Marina's chat room where Pearl says to Marina, ... Oh snap, it's Marina. Hey Pearl. AKA DJ Hyperfresh. AKA DJ Cold Breakfast, AKA the Fuzzy Dazzler, AKA DJ Catch and Release. I don't know what those other ones are, but yeah. And oh my god, I am so happy to report, but it does exist. The Pancakes vs. Waffles dialogue in Hero Mode. Marie says, "Quick! Which do you prefer, Agent 4? Pancakes or waffles?" Thank you to Gay Dino for tweeting at me with this. My life is complete. Now the real question is, did this exist before the Pancakes vs. Waffles Splatfest took place in Splatoon 2? Most likely. I don't see Nintendo adding in this one piece of dialogue after 2019 and the old single-player campaign. Remember, Octo expansion exists. So let's just go with Nintendo stole the idea from that one custom Splatfest in Splatoon 1. In brackets, JK. Living in a simulation. This odd piece of dialogue actually makes sense for Marina's character, as she had been hypnotized her whole life by the Actarian army, so she was always programmed to say things, hence the "free will is a lie" line. Mario coin. So I mentioned that in North America you had to get top 35 for the coin. I forgot to mention that you actually had to sign up to even get the coin, which you had to do beforehand. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know about that until I was playing in the Splatfest, which really shows that they kinda swept it under the rug, which is odd since they were only giving out a total of 70 anyway. Regardless from the previous video, I made it seem like North America got the short end of the stick, but actually Australia had it way worse. Apparently in Australia you had to get top 10 for the coin. Yikes. Matchmaking glitch. I received a comment about someone's experience with the matchmaking glitch. only it happened in Splatoon 1 oddly enough. What's insane is that the game didn't automatically disconnect the opposing team member and let them play in a match. The person who commented was on Team Pizza and a Team Burger player joined, and they still had the Team Burger shirt in game despite being on the wrong team. Jeez, I wonder what the Team Burger player's reaction was, or more so the Team Burger they were likely facing was thinking. Sadly, they do not have any screenshots of this happening, but seeing how the matchmaking glitch existed in Splatoon 2 also, I'd say this is legit. One final note is that another reply to this comment says they had the same thing happen to them on the same Splatfest. Huh. Maybe Burgers vs. Pizza had some matchmaking problems? If you played in that Splatfest and recall having some issues with matchmaking, I'd love to know. 3,000 Splatfest power. That Japanese player who got 3,196 Splatfest power in the final Splatfest in Splatoon 1 was called Dynamon. Apparently they are a well-known top Japanese player, though I'm personally not too involved in that kind of stuff. Thanks to everyone who told me about that. And now, here's the real interesting stuff. There are some topics that I completely missed out on, and every single topic that is in yellow in this image is a new one. Let's run down the iceberg again and see what's in store. 3 teams. Obviously starting off in level 1, we have some Splatoon 3 Splatfest stuff. I won't go too in depth with this, as this iceberg was mainly about Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 Splatfest only, but why not? In Splatoon 3, there are now 3 teams to choose from, because of the new idols Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. At this time we only know about one Splatfest topic in Splatoon 3, rock versus paper versus scissors. And with this new 3 teams concept comes Tricolor Battle. Tricolor Battle is a new mode added in Splatoon 3 Splatfest. It is only available to play in the second half of the Splatfest. Also, based on this text here, it seems that Splatfest will last for 48 hours from now on instead of the usual 24, which makes sense, since they'll want players to experience both halves equally in all times of the day. This also means that still, the last 24-hour Splatfest was Unicorn vs. Narwhal in North America, and the other 2 regions with their respective Splatfest back in June of 2019. But I digress. To keep it short, Tricolor Battle pits all 3 teams playing in the same match, with the team currently in first place being the team in the center, while the second and third place teams start on both ends to try and take down the first place team. Squid Sisters cheering. In Splatoon 1, about halfway through the match, whichever team is currently losing for that particular battle is the Squid Sister that cheers them on. Australia swapped regions. In Splatoon 1, Australia got Europe's Splatfest, which makes sense. However, in Splatoon 2, Australia got North America's Splatfest, which is very odd. So if you lived in Australia and played both Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 Splatfest, then you would have played 2 different regions, one for each game. Honestly, a very weird and strange choice to make that I didn't even know about before. ID numbers. Each Splatfest had their own unique ID number. It is a 4-digit number, with the first number corresponding to the region it's based in. 1 is for Japan, 2 is for North America, 3 is for Europe, 4 is for all regions, and finally 5 is for North America and Europe. All regions started with X050, with X being the region it's based in. Although oddly enough for Japan it started with 1051 instead of 1050. But sometimes numbers do get skipped, like from the Splatfest Mikey vs Donnie to Raph vs Donnie. Mikey vs Donnie is ID number 5054, but the next Splatfest is ID number 5056. This didn't even happen with the Japanese tournament Splatfest either, so it's very weird how it works, but I'm no expert in this field. This is also how data miners were able to figure out about more bonus Splatfests, as the Splatfest ID numbers 4061 through 4064 were found in the game data, which corresponded to the global region bonus Splatfest. Bonus Splatfest are not canon. This refers to the 3 bonus Splatfests after Chaos vs Order: Mayo vs Ketchup, Chicken vs Egg, and Trick vs Treat. All of these had no new dialogue introduced. However, for the Mushroom vs Star intro dialogue, Marina says, "Hold up though, Pearl, wasn't the Splatocalypse the final Splatfest?" To which Pearl responds, "It was, but it's Mario. We gotta throw a party." This implies that the 3 previous bonus Splatfests don't exist in the lore. Not to mention the first line of dialogue, Pearl says, "Back like we never left. It's Mario time." So it seems that Mushroom vs. Star was going to be the only bonus Splatfest planned, but they threw in the other 3 likely because of quarantine back in 2020. Splatfest ending in a tie. In Splatoon 1, if Nintendo never raised the wins percentage from ×2, then the Splatfest Fit vs. Rich in Europe, Red Fox vs. Green Tanuki Round 2, and Perfect Body vs. Perfect Brain in Japan would have ended in a tie. Now like I said before, I'm sure Nintendo would have skewed the results if this event did happen, but it doesn't matter as in Splatoon 2, this was changed to a best 2 out of 3 system, meaning something like this can't ever happen again. Right? Well, based on the Splatoon 3 scoring system, a Splatfest could end at a tie for 2 of the teams. Votes in Pro Mode are worth 10 points each, while Open Mode is worth 15 points. So a team could tie with 10 points each, but seeing as Open is worth 15 points, then a 3-way tie cannot happen. The scoring system is a lot like Splatoon 2's, but changed to fit the 3 teams aspect better. Splatfest demo still playable. I mentioned the exploit to be able to play in the plaza of the Splatoon 2 Splatfest World Premiere demo, assuming you still had save data from the event. I tried the same thing in Splatoon 3 and sadly it doesn't work. All that happens past the title screen is the thanks for playing message and no reboot, meaning it's likely impossible to do. Versus Self Colors reference old Splatfest. Last Splatoon 3 topic. So in Splatoon 2, there were only 3 different Versus Self Color combos. In Splatoon 3, there are at least 8 different color combos, if not probably more. With that, most of these Versus Self colors reference previous Splatfest colors. We have references to Cats vs. Dogs, Gurkout vs. Gherkin, Squid vs. Octopus from Splatoon 2, and Squid vs. Octopus from Splatoon 1, Cars vs. Planes, aka the OG Splatoon 1 colors, Grasshopper vs. Ant, or Lemon vs. No Lemon, and finally Trick vs. Treat. Honestly, it's really cool to see this as it gives Versus Self matches a bit more variety, rather than the same 3 color combos from before. Alternate 10x battle animation. This one is a very weird one, and it is something I noticed when playing but I forgot to add it. The animation when getting a 10 times battle in Splatoon 2 actually looks different depending on what type of Splatfest it is. If you were playing a separated region Splatfest such as Retro vs. Modern, it would look like this. If you were however playing a global Splatfest event such as Trick vs. Treat, then it would have looked like this. This is so strange because the 100x battle animation looks the exact same, but for whatever reason, the 10 times battle text looks different. Personally, I prefer the global Splatfest 10x battle text. I think it may have something to do with the special icons they put around the Turf War logo, so they probably didn't have enough space for the other 10 times battle text, so they made it more condensed. Honestly, I have no clue and I wish I knew the answer. Server maintenance during Splatfest. This is a very weird case. Apparently during the European Splatfest Gurkout vs. Gherkin in Splatoon 2, there was server maintenance for some time during it. This is the only case I know about it, as I remember seeing it happen live when I was watching people play the Splatfest. The server maintenance was an emergency, so it was not planned to take place at all, and it seemed to only last for about an hour.
You know, what can you do? Server maintenance? No! I'm doing server maintenance when I'm streaming. No! What is happening? I can't actually get there. Not even for private battles. What are we gonna do?
I wonder how many poor souls out there were not able to get max rank because of this. Shame on you, Nintendo. So that's all I have. With that said, Splatoon 3 is coming out very soon, and I'd say this is a good closure on Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 Splatfest. Now the obvious question is, will there be a Splatoon 3 Splatfest Iceberg? Maybe. I guess it depends on how much stuff there is to cover. Remember, this iceberg was about the first 2 Splatoon games, so there would have to be a lot of stuff in Splatoon 3 related to Splatfest to make an entire other iceberg on it. Even so, it would be a while before I make that. Regardless, I always enjoyed Splatoon Splatfest, and making this iceberg was super fun, since I'm really into this game mode in general. We are entering a new era of Splatfest, and I'm just glad they're continuing it. Thanks for watching.
Wait, the results! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit! No way! Wait, will we get the results right now? Holy shit! Okay, I'm not gonna look at chat. I'm just not gonna look at chat. Keep up. Just in case. I don't want to get spoiled. Wait, what?
Yeah, the first ever somewhat co-op Splatfest.
Shut up, Marina, bro. I don't care about your garbage.
Oh my god. Multiplayer maps and modes.
Final Fest is done.
Multiplayer maps and modes have been updated.
Ugh.